Test, test, test. There we are. Hey folks, how's it going? It's Friday. Hope you've had a good week. We made it to the end of the week. We survived. It's now the weekend. Whew, it's a warm one. Not sure it's warm where you are, but it is. It's so warm I have 3 fans blowing on me right now. Otherwise it will be another no camera stream. So hopefully these 3 fans are enough to keep me cool. But unfortunately this room is very well insulated, which is great in the winter. It doesn't get very cold in the winter, but then it also doesn't cool down in the summer. So it's great, but it's not great. But there's advantages, and I can't complain about that. But I hope you're all well. Let's make sure I look nice and crisp on the OBS. I've upped my quality. Quality is now up to 1080 rather than 720. Now I have a better graphics card. Let's switch over to the main screen, see what we're up to. I did purchase some more assets for Unity, so I've got some more things to play with. Hey Lisa, what's up? I sell emotes. The best emotes. Hope you're well. I've forgotten how you add stuff to. Do I have to go to Unity itself? So I want to see my. Where do I see my purchased assets? Organization groups. Use groups to assign roles multiple people are. I'm a one-man company. I don't need a group, despite Unity insisting I have a group. Projects. Oh, interesting. It's got all my projects I've been working on. Do they actually? I wonder if it actually backs up the project to Unity Cloud, or it just makes a note of them. Interesting. There's those awesome emotes. Yeah, if it backs up my projects to Unity Cloud, that's even better. But I don't know quite what. Asset Manager. That's what we want. Asset Manager. My store assets. Category 3D models, audio publishers. So I've got a lot of things on the Unity store. And it allows you to like just straight import them from your library online, which is pretty cool. Ah, okay, maybe I have to do it through Unity then. Favourite song of Hidden Album? I've not yet listened to many of the songs yet. So I've been at work, and I tried to listen to some at work, but yeah, unfortunately you can't really listen to too much on cheap headphones. So I need to play those. Need to play those on a decent sound system. So I'll get that play. I could play it now, but we don't want to play it on stream really. Speaking of music, let's get some background stuff playing. Ooh, I'll definitely watch that video later. Safe to watch later. Don't want sleepy music. De-stressing music. How about this? Yeah, we'll give that a go. Let's turn down my ear a little bit. I don't quite need it to be too loud. But yeah, I'll listen to. I'll get it downloaded. Now I own a full copy to download, and I'll give it a listen after the stream. And make my my points. Let's refresh Twitch on this page here. So the thing I found is Twitch doesn't tend to actually show me my live broadcast unless I refresh, which is it's okay, but it's just nice to see it. And don't really need YouTube's thing, but yeah, let's kill YouTube there. Let's bring up OBS, bring up a bot. But yeah, I listened to a couple of tracks at least, and I enjoyed it. I'm purchasing a copy of this. So we need to. How do we bring something in? Is it through the plus? Component game object assets import package. I might have to import it to another project. Extract from prefab, generate lighting. Yeah, because this project's not an online project, so I can't add to it from the website, unfortunately. I think your favourite would be song 16. Ooh, okay. I shall have a listen to. I'll keep it in mind when I'm listening to song 16. Copy link. Can I do copy link? Link is copied to your clipboard. Now can I do it from here then? Import package, custom package. Can I do that? Cannot find. Okay. Just want to add it to this project. I'm sure before I can usually just say open with Unity. Unless I can download it. So it doesn't let me download the asset. So I just want to. That's because I've got the castle theme, and the castle theme was something I downloaded, but then it wasn't from the Unity store, I don't think. I think it's from a third party. And because it was from a third party, I was able just to add it into any project. But I think if it's on the Unity store, you have to link your project to the store. And then you just bring it in that way. I think that's what I have to do. Yeah, okay. That's a shame. Here's the dashboard. Skip the tour. I have made no money from my work, which is fine. I'm not trying to sell anything right at the moment. No, okay. I'll have to make a new project and test out what I've purchased recently. Right. In the meantime, though, I need to work out animation blend trees. So this guy here. What's Unity up to? Why can't I click on that? It's been very slow. Do I have to go back to here? Let's close Unity because something's not happy here. Close that. Has Unity crashed? Using a lot of RAM just to play some music. What I have to do is find music in advance and try and rip it off YouTube. What's that? Tavern? What's that about? Tavern.com. Never seen it before. I think that's part of Unity. Doesn't help, it's trying to do a virus scan at the same time as well. So the thing I don't like about Windows, there's a lot of things you could not like about Windows, but one of the main things I don't like about Windows is constantly has to be checking for viruses and stuff, which on paper sounds good. It sounds like, well, that's a good idea. We should be checking for these things, but not when it takes up a good portion of your processor, so like 20% of your processor, just to keep checking stuff. So I'm pretty confident nothing's been downloaded in the time I started streaming. Let's turn all that off. Don't need live checking. Yeah, I can actually select him now. Let's move back over to the main screen. Right, now I can actually select our NPC. We're going to go to the animator. Now I want it to be staying on the walking. I could disconnect this. I'll delete that. Go to scene, hit play. So he's constantly walking, which is good. Obviously the rate at which he's moving and the animation's not great, but okay, that wasn't bad. Let's hit stop and play again. I don't like these numbers here. -7 point. Like, why has he got to -7? Should never get to -7. Speaking of the hidden stuff, by the way, not the harsh noise. I think you're like 7 on the noise album. Okay. I shall keep that in mind. So I'm going to try and listen to all of it anyway. The 16 on the hidden hardcore. Cool. Yeah, I'll listen to it all. Good luck. Even I can't do it. I shall give it a go. I shall brave it. You never know, there might be some inspiration within it to I did once. It was mostly horrific. Yeah, even though there might be some inspiration there to actually create something with that in mind. It's mostly horrific. Ooh, excuse me. So let's have a look at the script. So NPC controller script. Let's see what I'm going wrong, because be right back, dog walk. Oh yeah, it's that time. Okie dokie, I shall see you shortly. Let's have a look what's going on with the script, because for the value to hit -7, there's clearly something going wrong, because it should only be 0 or 1. There should be no minus, let alone -7. Right, let's make sure you folk can see a Visual Studio. Ah, I wonder if that's what it is then. That's why it just doesn't come up, because the name of the actual window is called, I might work this out. Yeah, the actual name of the Visual Studio window is based on the first thing it opens, which is obviously different each time. So I need to kind of open just Visual Studio and have that as the linked window. Anyway, let's have a look at this. So is it waypoint carriage? There's NPC controller script that I wanted to that's the one I wanted. Blend hash walking. And idle. Blend hash. Okay, so yeah, walking is the actual value I'm changing. So pass, so it is pass. So set animator position is what? Set animator position. And it's animation position there. So at no point should it... So we're looking at this value here basically. So this value should either be 0 or 1, or a number between those two. So let's have a look at the values here. So if it's less than 1, then we're adding to that number. But if it isn't less than 1, then we're making it 1. Because if it's not less than 1, it must be greater than or equal to 1. There's no other thing about it. It's either less than 1, or the alternative would be to be greater than or equal to 1. In which case we just make it equal 1. So I need to kind of... I could probably do with putting some logs into here. Debug dot log. Let's go less than 1. Not less than 1. I could probably do with actually setting what it is as well. Actually, it'd be better off just setting what it is. Or I could just do... just writing that position in there. Let's put that into here, and we'll go and go greater than 0. Let's copy it from there. Not greater than 0. And let's have a look what the console tells us as he's walking along. Okay, let's change this up a little bit. Let's just print that. So it goes to there and then goes. It goes pretty swiftly, that does. So how can it go basically 0.3, 0.2, 0.1? So what's going on there then? Just what is that number? -7. So it's when it's reducing down, obviously. So it's the minus thing going on here. If it is the animation rate is 0.1. I know floating numbers can be a bit iffy. But if it's not greater than 0, I probably need to put that in here as well. Let's do an if just here. So if it is less than 0 at that point, I want it to just set it as 0. So I'll minus it down and go, well, if it becomes less than 0, so for whatever reason, make it 0. And see how that looks. So it doesn't do it the other way around. It doesn't have an issue when it goes up to 1. It's just when it goes down to 0. Yeah, it just goes 0.9, 0.8, 0.91. Not an issue. preview seems to work fine. Let's clear that. Just got to change the rate from 0.1 to 0.05. It takes a little bit longer to transition between it. And go. Notice his this little coin purse on his belt doesn't move with him. Slight bug there. So it needs to. That appears to be working. I have not really done anything differently. Don't understand why it's working now and it didn't work before. No idea. But what it does need to do is transition quicker. Well, switch from walking to standing idle quicker. So walk, standing. So if last position does not equal transform position. Last position is a vector 3. NPC. If it does not equal that, then make it equal that and say it's walking. But if it does equal that, or it needs to be within a parameter of it. We did have something, didn't it? We waypoint carriage. That's it. Transform position minus driver position magnitude. It's that. So we want that really. We want that. So it's not really last position, this position. It's kind of. We want to know if there's a. So it's not. It's finding the difference. So it's that minus that. If it's got a magnitude of greater than 1, then we're moving. Else we're not moving. And we'll just comment the previous if, so we can go back to it or at least reference it. So if the difference between those positions is greater than 1, we must have moved a considerable amount. Let's give that a go. So hopefully it means he will stop walking quicker. Will start walking quicker. Or not walk at all. So maybe because it's checking it every time, it needs to be a smaller magnitude. Let's go 0.2. Okay, I might need to debug log the so last position minus that position, if it makes a difference. Because we only store it as the last position once we decide that those are no longer different. Okay, we are going to have to debug it. So what's that return? That returns a float. So we could do probably storing that float. Let's go private float square mag start off as 0. Square mag equals 0f. But what we actually want to do is capture that. And save it into there. Then we can also debug.log it. Equals it square mag. So we actually see what the square mag is then. Pause and read some of these numbers. So that's 0.05, 0.3. Right, we'll stop that. And we're going to stop the other debugging so I can actually read just what I need to see. So there's only one debug now, which is that square mag. Right. So it gets as far as 0.23. So in the code, I'm saying as soon as it is greater than 0.2, save it, say it's walking. But it's not always greater than 0.2. 0.05. So minimum movement, I'm back, welcome back. Minimum movement is 0.004. So it's greater than 0.004. So we're basically saying, well, if it's moved enough in that time, or should we just go 0.02? 0.03. Let's go for 0.03. So greater than 0.003. And it must be moving. Hello, how's it going there, Arvon? Good to see you again. Hope you've been well. You got a nice Bandcamp collection, by the way. Oh, thank you. I have got quite a collection going on. Clicked on the profile. Awesome. Yeah, most of it is smaller artists that I've supported. Quite a few I know personally. Still not happy with exactly that looping animation, but I just want to see. Yeah, I don't like the fact he's not moved. Right, I need to put one more debug into there, just to see when it actually switches now. I wonder what'd happen if you just bought it on Bandcamp but I deleted it before you downloaded it. I don't know. I don't know what happens. Will Bandcamp keep a download open for you? I'm guessing from an IT perspective, like a database perspective, as someone who works in databases, when you delete it, it probably won't delete it, it will unlist it. So you go, well, it's not there. You won't be able to see it, the public won't be able to see it, but it's still in the database, it's still on their server, and it won't be available for other people to get hold of. But anyone who has it in their collection, in theory, should still have it. Like Steam games, when a game has been deleted off Steam, it's not been deleted, it's still there. At least for a while. Because what they do, they delist it, so it won't show in the store anymore. But if you know what the game code is, like the 15-digit number for that game, the ID number, you can still find the game and you can still download it. If it's in your library, you can still download it anyway. But if it's been delisted, you can't buy it, but if it's a free to play, you can usually get it. Reddit said they are no longer available, you can't download them again, and you don't get a refund. Oh wow. So it's just straight gone. So we'll make sure to definitely download all I buy, etc. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, maybe if there's like a dispute at any point, like a band or an artist puts some music on Bandcamp that gets a copyright issue, maybe they use something without permission, maybe they did a cover which they had no authorization to sell, they go, well, you need to remove this now. If you've bought a copy of that, then that's it, your money's gone, your song's gone, you can't download it. So there's probably something in their terms and conditions that say they can at any point remove any songs you've purchased from the listing. Bandcamp says I only bought 4 things ever. That's definitely not true. Oh. Maybe I switched accounts at some point. Maybe. And then you have many accounts. Maybe it was on the previous one. Let's do a debug into here. All my bands are actually one account. Bandcamp, good with that. Oh, that's cool. So you don't have to like have a different account for each project. Debug.log, and we shall log that we are walking. When you make a new account, you can then link it, and it will be all pages the same email login. Nice. I've not even thought about putting music on Bandcamp. I've not produced anything original. Wow. I've not produced anything original that is worth putting on Bandcamp, should I say. I have original music. But if you find my my SoundCloud, my DJ SoundCloud, there's some very low quality produced music on there. It's not bad. I reckon if I went back to it and remade it, it would sound far, far better now. But at the time I had no idea about how to balance frequencies or to properly master anything. Let's go, well, this sounds good, but this sound, put those sounds together. And especially when I go to export it, it's not in a good quality. Oh, there's a few standing coming in there. Don't blame yourself. The programs for public were way more difficult to use back then. Yeah. As far like I didn't have things like Ableton when I first started making music. So I was kind of just working with. I think a lot of my stuff was made with Fruity Loop Studio. Have you ever come across Fruity Loop Studio? And that was okay. You can do a lot of things with Fruity Loop Studio, and the software's got better and better over time. Buy a Mac, then you spend enough so you torrent Logic, then you set true. Yeah. Yeah. As soon as you got Logic Pro, you got pretty much an entire studio there. Yeah, my friend Ollie writes all his music on Logic. He's very good at plugging stuff into there. Mine is pirated. Yeah, it's way too expensive for the regular kind of home artist. Right, let's have a look at what's going on with this. Fun fact, it opens with Steve Jobs quote that says, "Why join the Navy when you can be a pirate?" Nice. Well, I just did Steve Jobs. Okay. Yeah. Why join the Navy when you can be a pirate? I'd much rather be a pirate than a naval officer. More fun. So he starts off. So walking, 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 walking. Walking, standing. So why is it considered to be standing? So that's 0.1. So yeah, it's greater than 0.2. Or 0.002. So why does it go to standing at that point? So to go to standing, it would have to stand idle is true. Ah, it's greater than 0.03. Right. Let's do that. Trump is coming to my country next week. How fun. Oh. You can see if you can push him in one of the canals. The thing is, I know you'll probably float. Well. No. No, it's bad for the environment. All those chemicals will leak into the water. Okay, he's considered he's still walking, that's good. Walking, standing. He's standing but doesn't... He travels with 8 military ships. He brings US armoured vehicles with him. 1,000 soldiers. I die. Planes, not ships, yeah. You just need a small small Dutch military, and I'm sure you could do something. Or a Dutch militia, shall I say. You say the Dutch military don't have a lot. He forced us to block all highways during his visit. No one can go to or from work for like 3 hours or more. That's ridiculous. Like bringing the country to a stop for a foreign sort of foreign leader. Well, with everything happening, our army is growing again. That's good to hear. Going to spend 7 billion more this year. Wow. Apaches flew over my house 3 years ago. Ooh. So they're actually doing some more training, I'm guessing then. Loud, I bet, yeah. I bet it's all... Okay, it's not too bad having military nearby, and everything's happening. There actually is more military now. Civilian helicopters are nothing compared to those. No. No, the closest oh, he's back. Welcome, Lisa. Welcome back. The closest I've seen for that military aircraft is when Nix and I went on our vacation up north. They do like jet fighter plane exercises in that area that we went to, because it's lots of hills, and what they do, the fighter jets fly between the hills, and they fly quite low, so they can actually navigate between the hills and the valleys and stuff. So much so that you can stand on the top of one of these big hills and actually look down at the planes. There's some video on YouTube. I'll have to find some of people standing on the hill, just looking down the hill and just seeing this fighter jet go through the valley. Very loud. It's nice and peaceful. You've got like calm lakes and water, and also you hear a rumble and this jet go flying past. So exercises. Military helicopters are very loud. Yeah, we have occasionally we have Chinooks. We have like Chinooks flying over this area, like maybe twice a year, once a year. we have at least one Chinook go over somewhere. Those are definitely loud. Yeah, you hear this like sort of loud chugging noise. And you go, what's that? And you look out and you just see this Chinook go. You go, oh wow. They even have 2 sets of rotor parts. Yeah. Now we have little helicopters, and you just hear this buzzing noise. You go, oh, there's a helicopter. But yeah, you definitely hear it when the Chinooks go. But I'll quickly see if I can find a video clip of that's it, Ulswater. I'm going to post this into the chat. But yeah, when Nix and I went up, wasn't from when we went there, but this is example. We were just walking down by the lake, and this video demonstrates kind of what we saw. But we are actually on the water level, not up on the hill like this person is in the video. At least when Iran reaches my village, I know my military is getting strong again. True. Watch it now. Cool. It's a short video. It's a F-35 Lightning. But yeah, they just do exercises up there. But you can see how big the hills are in that area, and you can just stand on one of those and you'll see a jet go past. And they just fly between the hills. So it's standing, it needs to... That's 0. The 0... Epic vid, yeah. So it wasn't the video I was thinking of, but it's, a lot of people have filmed very similar videos. Iran has that sound a lot above them now. Oh wow. Israel uses F-35s. Yeah, they seem a very manoeuvrable aircraft. I know the UK has sold a lot of military stuff to the likes of Israel, which people aren't happy about. Very effective, yes. That's it. So any time so there's been any Russian aircraft near UK airspace, we've just dispatched F-35s, and they're there in a couple of minutes, and they will just follow Russian aircraft and kind of just guide them back out and go, you don't need to be here, just go this way. Yeah, because we got the military base in the north. It's a very quick to dispatch aircraft from up there. Not so much going on in the south. To the south of us, in the southeast, we've got France. We obviously got the Netherlands to the east of us. So there's not much we need to worry about. But from the northeast, we got more ocean. I mean, I hate Iran with a passion, but let's not get too political. No. No, there's a lot of bad things that a lot of countries have done, but it doesn't excuse certain things. Same. I want to be clear on this, but I'm not going into details of stream. Yeah, that's fair. We don't need to go into details. They're commies. Yeah. Okay, let's put the rate back up. So that was 0.05. It's been at 0.1 again. So each loop although when they're going back to standing idle, you don't want it to really take too long to go to standing. That you want to be pretty quick. Let's go with 1, see how quick it goes. Also hate Russia, yeah. Oh yeah, exit play mode. Yeah, there's a lot of sort of bad decisions being made in certain countries. Hopefully he comes to a standstill pretty quickly. Okay, let's do this. When stand idle, we want the animation rate times 2. So he goes to a standstill quicker than he goes to walking. Right, I'm pretty happy with the trigger points now. So let's take that out, because we know it's going down to 0, we know it's going up to 1. Well, it's going up and down with the distance. We're happy with that. I want to see the actual animation state. So it's walking, walking, walking. And it gets to there. So he comes to a stop quite happily there. Let's play again. He's walking, 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 walking. Try again there. I'll pause it just as he gets to that point, because I want to see. This goes point. So standing is when he starts reducing from walking. So he's walking, walking. Then it'll switch to standing because he's not moved so much. And then it counts down 0.8, 0.6, 0.4, 0.2. And then strangely 2.98. And then 0. So maybe I need to do a similar thing as before. So when we have so it's less than 0, that's fine. But how does he get to that? Reading about F-35. Ooh. I've not actually looked into them too much. They do seem an interesting aircraft though. All countries combined use 71 of them. Okay. So there's 71 of them in use then. US has around 300 though. Oh wow. Cost 101 million apiece. Ooh. It's big business. Building and selling those. I know. America wanted to like import. They like do imports, exports, but with all the tariffs that have been going on. I know European countries have been buying less military stuff from America. I'm just trying to find European manufacturers for military hardware. It's only a fraction of the US spends. Yeah, that's the crazy thing. Like, the US apparently doesn't have any money, but then you look at their military budget and go, well, they clearly have money for military. Just apparently no money for everything else in the country. And considering they're fairly isolated and there's no real war brought to them, it makes you think, why do they need so much military? Okay, let's have a look what's going on here. So it's walking, walking, and then switches to standing, and it goes 0.7, 0.4, 0.09, so that's basically 0.1, then 0. I mean, you don't need neighbours as enemies in this day and age. Oh, definitely not. We have ICMBS going around the world 3 times if needed. So does the Russians and Chinese. Armable and nuclear warheads. Ah, yes, yeah. Yeah. The thing is, the stuff that's gonna really cause an issue is stuff you can't really defend against. You know, I wouldn't be surprised if we will actually witness a nuclear attack. Some years ago, I thought the world would never happen. Thought that would never happen. Yeah, you think, oh yeah, it's been de-escalated now, and that kind of stuff would never happen. But it's looking more likely now. Wouldn't be surprised if Russia throwing one on Ukraine or NATO, Israel on one on Iran. Yeah, it's more trigger happy leaders at the moment. Right, let's try this. Let's comment out that and just go straight to 0. Real winner at the moment is China. Russia and the West are at war. China sells to both and saves its own world. True. Yeah, China's kind of like standing out. They're just basically the manufacturing capital of the world. And Trump, but only if you ask him, others won't agree. Yeah. Right, let's try this. We're not even transitioning from walking to standing. We're just going walk, stand. Trump has the best win. No win ever has been so good. He is the best at winning. He invented winning. He just came up with it. His win is tremendous. His win is tremendous. It makes history. He is writing a book about it. So it's walking up to full walking pace. So I should try and sync the actual walking speed with the animation, but so it flicks down for a second there to standing, goes to 0. That's the only problem with me going straight to 0, is that it will drop out of the walking animation very quickly. But why would it do that? Okay. So we can't have it just dropping to 0. Can't have it just dropping to 0. Probably also why it looks a little bit funny at times, because it seems to be considering it is. Let's make that to that. See Middle East and Ukraine war as connected. It's just proxies of two big blocks. Yeah. Yeah, these unfortunate countries are kind of being just pawns really for other things going on. US, EU, Israel and Saudi Arabia on one side, Russia and Iran on the other. Yeah. It's just all the big games, some of these countries. So we go less than 0.5. So it's less than halfway, just make it 0. Or less than 0.6. So it'll drop 0.6 in one go there. Let's try that. So it will have a minor slowdown from walking. Rather than just walking and stopping, it's walking and then going very quickly to a slow walk to stop, as opposed to walking fast, walking slow, just shuffling and then stopping. It's like, okay, you can kind of stop a bit quicker. It's fine starting off. When he goes to move, he starts walking very quickly. When he gets to that point, it's very quick to stop. How come? When he gets to that point. Delay and oh yeah, I'm coming to that. So it's greater than 0 and then it kind of so it goes from walking to standing. It goes 0.9, 0.8, 0.7, and then goes boom straight to 0. We do want to comment out that though. So I could make it a bit more abrupt and go from that to that. So it should be for each frame. It's only going to be 3 frames before it comes to a complete standstill. But it's obviously taking longer than that. So have another look. Ultimately, this doesn't make any much difference to this project. But I don't particularly care if he walks on the spot. But working this out here, yeah, so it goes 0.9, 0.8, 0. Okay, let's actually watch that, because I think he stopped quite nicely. No, not really. There's 2 more steps. So it doesn't really transition to the idle animation. Spam. I was reading a Britney Spears Insta post. It confused me. Yeah, Britney Spears is a little bit damaged mentally, I think, which is not her fault. But it's good that she's free to kind of express herself how she wants to now. But yeah, we had a. I do not blame her at all. I just sometimes try to make sense of her stories. Yeah. Sometimes difficult. Yeah, I sometimes understand what she's going at. Well, we can actually delete Mr. Hand Wavy thing here, because that was just to kind of try and work out why the animation wasn't working, but now the animation does work. I don't know why it works. Don't question these things too much. But what we do need to do is rig up some other NPCs so they can do the walking. Because I'm pretty happy with that. I did what I would have liked to have done, but the way that the Unity asset store works doesn't really allow me to do it. Is that I purchased some animations on the Unity store, and it is the actual animation like movement, and you just apply that to whatever character you have. So technically I can apply the animation to these NPCs and make them do these preset movements. But I need to work out how to get it out of my store library into this game and just tell the character to do that thing. But looking at the animations, they look to me very inspired by The Sims. Now, very kind of over the top expressive movements, like when they're laughing they're going sort of their hands in their face, kind of like sort of moving up and down to show that they're laughing. Or what's the other one they do? Like when they're dancing, they're kind of like sort of moving their arms around, stuff like this to dance. So very kind of over the top, so they can be seen from a distance movements. So it does remind me of The Sims a lot. But if I can get those animations imported, I can then just apply those, and I might even just dump the walking animation I've made and just apply the one I bought. But I spent some time doing the walking animation. I might as well keep it in this particular game. Maybe for my future projects I'll use a pre-made one, just so it looks a bit more professional. There's some cool stuff in the pack, like special effects and like different lighting options and all this, like things that make a game look professional. And you just apply settings and stuff. So all very cool. I just need to kind of play around with it. Might have to start a new project, unfortunately, for those though. So if this is the case, we could hide that. Clear those. Go save. How does it look without the actual square? Looks okay. So I'm pretty happy. There's things that aren't right. Like I say, his coin purse on his belt is static, as in when he moves up and down, the coin purse doesn't. But I could just put that into the animation, or change the way the coin purse is attached to him, so it's just kind of more part of the object. And I would like the different camera angles. So I want to do it so when you're following along and then the camera angle switches to like here and then switches back and they walk off. So they start walking off and the camera angle switches back to them. Now, I don't know how you would do that. We could give it a quick go, I suppose. So can I go camera? What's that? No reference. Oh, so that's serialized object thing. Yeah. Let's we'll hide the debugs because I think I can spend too much time working out why the animation doesn't switch at the moment. It will be a problem. Well, it could be a problem in the future if I try and do the same thing and it not work out why. But for now, we'll leave that. Right, let's try and make a second camera. Let's go camera static. So where is it? So this camera's here. I want to rotate it around. bring it up, and then I want to angle it let's put the rotation back to 0. Let's move this way a bit. Just needs to do a full there. Probably something like that. Now the question is, how do we switch between cameras? Physical camera. Where's the one? Newer cameras attached to. There's the camera. So that's main camera there. That's tagged as main camera. Let's do a quick Google because I want to see how do you switch cameras. Unity, switch camera, change between cameras. I'll have two different cameras in my game. One top down, one third person. I want them to be changeable when you press a key or change option in GUI. You can do either, though it's probably simpler to switch between cameras. To change the main camera, you can set the active property of the camera game objects, or you can set the enable properties of the camera components on the game objects. It's often preferable to use the enable property. Interesting. We'll go save. See what happens. 2 audio listeners, so make sure there's only exactly 1 audio listener. Okay, gotcha. So I can then have that enabled. Switches that camera, they walk off, and then. Okay, right. Move that audio listener. So we don't enable that camera just yet. So we need to have some kind of trigger point. Maybe the camera's attached to the waypoint might be easier. Let's go to edit script to the waypoint. Now let's add a camera, optional camera here. So serialized field, private camera, and call it away point camera. Let's put a public void activate camera if waypoint camera is not null, camera is not null, then waypoint camera dot enabled is not false but true. And we do another public void deactivate camera. And copy that. So if waypoint camera is not null, then set enable to false. So we can add a camera to the waypoint. If there is a waypoint camera, then we want to do something with it. If there isn't, then don't do anything with it. This camera's none, but we'll drag that into there. So when let's edit the script of the driver. So if wait time, so wait time is that So collision, if collision, try get waypoint without waypoint. Current waypoint is get waypoint. Wait time is that. And then we want to go waypoint dot activate camera. Oops, wrong one. That's because keyboard's running low on power. I can't see the lights anymore. If waypoint time is over that, waypoint time 0, way. Ooh, okay, we need to. Waypoint, collision name, collision. Try get that into waypoint. So we could do with having waypoint as a private one over here. So waypoint, and then that means I can deactivate camera. And it might be worth putting a if waypoint is not equal to null. Otherwise, it could be open to an error. You go, well, hang on, I can't deactivate a camera with a waypoint. I don't actually know what it's about. Yeah, so if there is a waypoint, then try to deactivate the camera. See if that works. I don't know. And then if this works, we'll probably wrap it up and call it a day. So in theory, when it gets to that market stall, it should switch on the other camera. Then when it leaves the market stall, it should switch it off. No. That didn't work. Okay, what do we do wrong? Right, let's see if it's actually calling this. So debug dot log camera on, and let's do another one here. Camera oof off. Camera oof. See how this looks. Let's do a save up here as well. So at least if it's trying to switch the camera on and off, we know it's doing that. A lot of cameras off there. Try again. Have I attached it to the wrong waypoint? So it says it's got the camera on. It was off, off, off. Now it should be on. Now it's off, off, off. Why is it constantly turning the camera off? Why is it constantly saying, trying to turn the camera off? So if the waypoint so if driving, yes. So countdown. If wait time is greater than 0, then take it down. Otherwise, make waypoint 0, or wait time 0, and then turn the camera off. Right. That makes sense then. So I need this to only happen once. Let's just hide that bit. So we want to know that there has been a wait time, and that we now turn the camera off when it reaches 0. But it's constantly doing a countdown. So if wait time is 0, drive to the next point. So maybe here, to be honest. So we do have like another private. So private Boolean camera active equals false. That in here as well. Camera active is false. Camera active equals true. I'm going to put it back into here. What shirt are you wearing today? I am wearing Rick and Morty inspired Haynes manual. Where's Haynes manual? You know the manuals you used to get in the 80s, 70s and 80s for cars. But it's kind of that sort of design. But it's just dimension C137. I've got a lot of Rick and Morty t-shirts because I subscribed to the Rick and Morty loot crate at one stage. because I stopped subscribing to it. I think they can. I'm not sure they cancelled doing the crate. But yeah, I have so many shirts. I have a section of just Rick and Morty shirts. And camera active. So deactivate camera and set camera active is false. So it won't keep trying to deactivate a camera once it's been set to false. But yeah, I'll try and remember to take a photo, post it in the Discord. After the stream. Camera's on. Let's go camera enabled. Let's try that. We'll do the same over here down the bottom. Camera disabled. Give this a go. See if it's something we're missing here. So in theory it should say camera enabled when it gets to the waypoint. Camera on, camera off, camera on, camera enabled. So it's running the script but it's not doing anything. Camera off, camera disabled, camera on, camera off. Don't know what it's doing now. Let's try that instead. Let's actually disable the camera object here. Yeah, rather than disabling the entire object, just the camera. Oh, okay. That's all it took then. Let's try that again. So it's walking along. Goes to that, changes the camera, says his thing, and then walks off. Yeah, I'm quite happy with that. It's a little bit janky, as with most of this, but I've got the basis now to do multiple camera angle switches based on the waypoint system. So next week I will try and have like animations on the other characters and maybe some voice lines and sort of a little bit more animation going on. Just a very simple intro. I go, okay, walking along, speaking to the market vendor, walking a bit further, stopping. So I'd like him to stop again about here to look at all these broken buildings and say, well, we pay our taxes, yet they don't fix the buildings. So kind of stopping around here, camera looks at this and they kind of talk about the buildings, and then maybe camera stays and they walk off and it fades and then it goes into the game. So no more than about 15 seconds. And then maybe if I go a bit further, actually on the first level I just have a animation of them wheeling the trebuchet up to the first house, and then the gameplay starts. So I could do it for every level, just have the trebuchet being wheeled up to the starting position and then the player takes over and starts firing stuff. Just makes it a bit more interesting, I think. So I could give that a go, finish the still area off, then do the opening animation per level. Yeah, then give it a bit of a play test for people. But I'm pretty happy with that for now. Let's switch camera over to here so we can see my face. Make sure that's saved. Just close that. Right, it's quite late. It's 10 past 11 here now. Or was it 10 past 12 for you lovely folk in mainland Europe? So I am going to get some rest now. Hope you do too. Thank you for joining tonight. Much appreciate that. And I will have a listen to some of those tracks before I go to sleep. And let you know what I think. Thank you for the stream. Thank you, stream. Have a good night. You too. Thank you, Jeffrey. Thank you, Lisa. Thank you, Arvon, for checking in as well. Thank you for the lurkers. Have a great weekend and also good night. Thank you, Lisa. You too. Hope you have a good weekend. Back on Monday. I'll have a think about what we're going to do on Monday. But we'll be up to something on Monday. Until then, have a good night, good weekend, and I shall see you on Monday. Have a good night. Good night.